All right, so this is a submission from the mount. So I'm sitting on across his waist, and in a street fight, this is really bad for him and really good for me because he cannot punch up at me, but I can punch down at him. It just will not work if he tries to punch. And what happens most of the time when somebody doesn't know jiu-jitsu, the first thing they do is they try to push up on me, all right? And that is a real bad mistake for him because he's given up my arm, he's given up his arms for a submission. So if he pushes up, there are several things I can do. If he's wearing long sleeves like this, then I can just grab right here, and I can pull over, and then I'm gonna start moving high on him. I'm gonna start moving high. Now what I would like to do is, I'm gonna do an arm bar. Is this the bad arm, bad hand?
No, they're both fine.
Okay. So I'm gonna do an arm bar, which means I need to swing this leg over his head. What happens a lot of times is people give a whole bunch of space when they swing the leg over the head and he gets out, right? So what I wanna do is I wanna keep pressure on him so he doesn't escape when I go for the arm bar. All right, so what I'm gonna start doing is start moving high. Now, if I'm moving high, it takes his hips away from escaping. Like if he tries to bump me, see, he's not gonna bump me off. If I were down here and he bumps me, you see how far I can go? I'm gonna get thrown. So I'm gonna try to get high, Then now the next thing I wanna do is I wanna try to make it a little bit easier for me to get this leg over his head and not give him space. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide into what's called an S-Mount. I'm gonna move this leg to where I'm sitting on that pinky toe right there. See that I'm gonna be on that pinky toe? And then this one, I'm gonna be sitting on my my big toe. See how I'm on my big toe? And my pinky toe. All right, that creates what's called an S. See that? S. I'm taking a little pressure off of him just to be nice, but in a real fight, I'm gonna try to put all of my weight right here on his ribs. And I can actually just sit there and he'll eventually tap. Like he would rather have an arm bar than me just sit there because it's a lot of pressure, and I'm actually looking this way when I'm doing, and all the weight is right here. All right? Now, what I'm gonna do is, so you can just sit there and they'll tap if you get this and you don't get out, all right? But if you wanna be nice to your friend, instead of doing this, what I'm gonna do, instead of just sitting on him and tapping him from pressure, I'm gonna swing this arm around his head. But what I wanna do is I wanna lighten it up. And the way I'm gonna lighten it up is I'm gonna lean and put my body weight on him. You see? Yeah. I'm still current control. He can't just sit up because I got a lot of pressure on him. And then from there, that's when that's light. Now, I don't want to let myself fall down. It's almost like I want to slide down the flagpole. And then these heels, I can use my, what are these muscles back here? Hamstrings to pull him in. You see how I'm pulling him in? Wow. Yeah. Now, if I need to, I can cross my legs, cross my ankles just to maintain the position. All right? But when I want to do the armbar, that's whenever I let go of the crossing of the ankles and bring my knees together and pinch like that.
So you can separate.
Yeah, now it doesn't take anything to submitting from here.
Yeah, see all the space between my arm and his chest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's as far as I can push
Yeah.
it. So all that is hyperextension from there down.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, I'm looking for a hitchhiker thumb. The thumb has to be pointing to the ceiling. If it's pointing here, I can't armbar him. I can't armbar him.
It's pretty well, yeah.
If it's pointing there, I can't armbar him. So I'm looking for a hitchhiker thumb right there. And it's a very simple armbar right there. Now, if he starts to pull back, I can always just pull this wrist in, and I can submit him with the wrist too.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things I can do there. All right. Any details I missed on that, Kurt?
Well, like, so once you have the mount, so the same thing goes with the arm that he was showing. Like this knee, I want to get behind it so you can't get it to the ground.
Yep.
But then even when you're going to the S-mount, at first, so I'm gonna hold that. You don't wanna lift and turn,
Yeah.
then he has no pressure. So instead, I wanna keep the pressure on, and in order to, you know, if I'm here and I wanna get this one around, I need to, you know, as he said, you lean back to make that one light and twist it, then I'll lean forward to get this one further around. Just shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I would say, so like here, it's an S, but it's also like, I've got this completely trapped. You know, you can't get this elbow back down. So you can do that. They can still knock you back a little bit, but if you get to this spot and you just crunch forward, they'll never get you off.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you don't want to lean back because, you know, he could then push me back or maybe catch me even with the legs. But if I just like, and the pressure gets way worse if I'm like here and I just crunch into a little ball,
exactly.
I'm like driving all the pressure
Yeah.
down on him.
One detail I missed when you go for the armbar, grab this arm too.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's like, how
Do you see?
really tight.
Yeah, now, but he's actually going to armbar this arm, but when he falls back, he has a hold of this arm as he's falling back. And that's a detail I missed in the video.
And then I guess the only other thing I would say is, first, I wouldn't even fall back. I would try not to, because you can just take it and you can.
there's
armbar
there's
there.
all kinds of
Like,
submissions there.
You can take it, and as long as I have this up, I can lean forward and just drive my hips in and do it.
Yeah.
Because, and then if it doesn't work, well, I'm still got him in this shitty spot.
Yep.
And that way, if I do fall back, you know, I really want to catch this. You know, I want to just make sure that if I'm holding his head or his arm,
Yep.
because he needs to clear this elbow past my crotch, really.
Otherwise,
So
I'm in danger.
I need this to stay like at my belly button.
Yeah.
And so whether that's, and if I want to fall back, now I can lean forward and slide this leg around, and then I can just roll straight back, and it's up at my belly button. You know, because if you go, if he has enough to where he can pull it down, it's
I'm
gone.
out.
Yeah, no,
You know, I won't be able to pull it back in. I need to, you know, have it so deep. I want to keep it there. I don't
that's
want
the
it to
slide
go
down the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really is like a matter of, you know, if you think you've got all your weight here and you want to get your legs like that, so I can shift to this side, and I can get this one out a little. I'm still keeping my weight pretty balanced, but I can lean this way and I can get that forward. I've still got a lot of weight here. I haven't lifted up ever.
That's important.
Now I'm back to the middle, bring this one in. You know, I can lean this way to bring it a little bit further. It's just kind of shifting around like that, because the second you go,
Yeah, yeah.
they're gone.
It's gone.
can't
Yeah,
lift
that's
up.
a really good point.